when they took back their time.
Reclaiming my time?
Reclaiming my time.
Right.
Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time.
Yeah.
That was their big deal. Because every single time Barr started to answer one of their questions.
I know.
I'm reclaiming my time.
Dude, never.
It's my time.
I challenge you to go and try to find 60 seconds. 60 seconds of him talking uninterrupted during that hearing. It's impossible. They interrupted him every time he opened his mouth.
Here's a little taste of it.
And I'm reclaiming my time, Mr. General.
My time is limited. I have time.
To what
Reclaiming my time.
Yeah,
I'm answering your question.
Well, you got to let him answer.
Reclaiming my time.
gotta let him
Reclaiming
answer.
my time, sir.
Nope.
Reclaiming my time. And I know you don't want to answer.
I'm not
Shut up,
saying
Hank.
that.
No, he did want to answer. You just didn't let him because you were reclaiming your time.
My time.
Claiming my time.
Reclaiming my time, Mr. Attorney General. Reclaiming my
Jeez.
time.
Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time,
It's
Mr. Attorney.
unbelievable.
Reclaiming my
Video is
time.
from. That's where the
Reclaiming my
video
time,
is from.
Mr. Barr.
Okay, reclaiming my time. Excuse me, the time is fine.
I'm starting to lose my temper.
Of
Excuse me,
protesters in
Mr.
the
Barr, this
federal
is my
government.
time, and I control it.
Happenings.
Reclaim my time, sir.
I think in another one I voted
Reclaiming
by
my
mail.
time. Okay, reclaiming my time.
Publication.
Reclaiming my time, sir.
I will get to
Quibbling
that.
over-
Reclaiming my time. You answered the question.
That's what-
Mr. Attorney General,
I think
reclaiming
that's
my
what I was
time.
talking
Reclaiming my time.
We've waited a long time for you to come here. The time is mine. The time is mine.
Substances.
Mr. Attorney General, reclaiming
People are
my
despicable.
time.
Reclaiming my
Absolutely.
time, sir.
Without a rule,
reclaim
I think
my
DHS
time.
Reclaiming my time. I'm surprised at your lack of respect.
I
for a
love
member of
that.
Congress.
How I love that at the end. Reclaiming my time. I'm surprised at your lack of respect. They berate him, belittle him, and disrespect him for hours and hours and hours on end. And then she's surprised that he's not paying her the proper respect.
Has a witness in Congress ever thrown an object from where they sit
Not that
at the
I know,
representative?
but it would have been appropriate. I mean, really would have been appropriate. I think he was about to. He was not excited to be there. And
those bottles of water,
Yeah.
they had sitting off to the side. Though you can chuck those a good distance.
you really can. All right, we had some hearings to deal with, and weren't they fun? Weren't they wonderful? We've got some tremendous representatives, don't we, in Congress? You gotta love them. You gotta love them.
Well, they're public servants, Pat.
They sure are.
I mean, they think about it. They could be in the private sector, trying to make a living or just get rich or whatever they want to do. But instead, they put their life on hold for us.
Exactly. First of all, we had the big tech hearings yesterday. The day before that, it was the Attorney General Barr stuff. And wow, what a fun show that was. With Congressperson Jayapal interviewing Barr and the respect that she paid him. And
Attorney General Barr, you
worried
seem
about
to
the
be
District of
engaging
Columbia,
in
which is
protests
federal.
in certain parts of the country. You're very aware of those. But when protesters with guns and swastikas and
I am
Confederate
aware of
flags, excuse me,
protesters in
Mr.
the
Barr, this
federal
is
government.
my time, and
hello.
I control it.
her time.
You are aware of certain kinds of protesters, but in Michigan, when protesters carry guns and
No,
Confederate
right.
flags and
Sure.
swastikas and call for the governor of Michigan to be beheaded and shot and lynched, somehow
Okay, she's mixing her metaphors there a little bit, if you will. There were people who were carrying guns in the Michigan protest, you might remember, because they had every right to do that. They weren't threatening to use them, and they were not threatening the governor. What they were doing was protesting the fact that they couldn't go outside their homes or go to another home that they had somewhere else. They weren't allowed to go anywhere or do anything, and it was unconstitutional, and they were upset about that. Now, on Facebook, there were Facebook groups that had threatened the governor, but Facebook is garbage, and so is Twitter. And you're going to find everybody being threatened by everything on Facebook and Twitter. You can't use that as an example of the kinds of things that Bill Barr was talking about. Get out of here. Nobody threatened the Nazis. There was one person with a swastika there. They went through the whole crowd. They found one person with a swastika. What were they saying? Were they saying Nazism is great and we're here as Nazis? No, They were saying that this is Nazism that you're doing to us by keeping us inside our homes, and we don't want you doing that. They weren't using it as a positive. It was a negative thing, that we don't want Nazism being used against us. It's just outrageous that she can just spew these lies and get away with it.
You're not aware of that. Somehow you didn't know about it, so you didn't send federal agents in to do to the president's supporters what you did to the president's protesters. In fact,
Oh, and by the way, what was the really horrific thing that happened to the president's protesters that were out there in Lafayette Park? They shot pepper spray at them, the pepper balls. So what? They cleaned out the crowd. People weren't killed. They weren't shot in the streets. They weren't beaten and taken into prison. They were cleared out of the way. It was really not that big a deal. But they will not let that go. Oh no, some people were moved out of the way. Okay. What a horrific tragedy that was.
in fact, you didn't put pepper balls on those protesters. So the point I'm trying to make here, Mr. Barr, that I think is very important for the country to understand, is that there is a real discrepancy in how you react as the Attorney General, the top cop in this country.
She's ignoring, by the way, the actual violence that is being committed in Portland. The actual violence. None of the people that she's talking about.
By who?
The people let's see, her constituents, like people who agree with her, her left-wing ideologues, by Antifa.
Whoa.
And by BLM.
Whoa. I heard this week Antifa was a myth.
Yeah. That myth is burning down the city of Portland right now.
Burning Myth. It's a good band name.
I mean, it's absolutely asinine. The people in Michigan committed no violence. They didn't burn anything down. They weren't burning down cars. They weren't graffitiing the walls. They didn't do any of that kind of stuff. They didn't overturn cars. They didn't shoot at police. They didn't do any of it. So kind of a big difference.
When white men with swastikas storm a government building with guns, there is no need for the president to, quote, activate you because they're getting the president's personal agenda done.
No, because they weren't committing violence, Puddin'. Okay? There was no violence by those people. Just the fact that they had guns is a complete non-issue. So what? Did they use them? No, they didn't. This is just despicable what they're doing. It's absolutely despicable.